this one.
Okay, do we have her in now?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, I'm here.
thank you, please. Good evening. It is 7:02. We are calling our meeting to order. May I first have a call to order, clerk? I'm sorry, have a roll call, clerk.
We are calling to order at 7:02.
Yes.
Trustee Bartis.
Here.
Trustee Bosey.
Here.
Trustee Hall is absent. Deputy Mayor Woods.
Here.
I mean, this electronically.
Mayor Foley.
I am here, and just confirming for the public record that the three of us here in the room constitute an in-person quorum consistent with open meetings law. And Trustee Woods is our fourth voting member this evening, joining by Zoom. Announcements. We'll be talking about this later in the agenda, but there is a film being made overnight Friday into Saturday in the town of Phillipstown. There is no filming happening in the village, but there will be some section of road closure on Route 9D. The DOT and the Sheriff's Department have approved that road closure. So from 6 p.m. Friday to 6 a.m. Friday, cars will be redirected through the village. Our officers will be on duty to help at particular intersections. But again, no filming will happen in the village. Also, emergency vehicles, the 90 will be open at all times to emergency vehicles. So that is not a concern. If you have questions, please contact the town of Phillipstown, as they are the lead on this event. Other announcements, just a reminder that we have scheduled a public hearing on the tentative budget for fiscal year 26-27, Wednesday, April 8th, 2026 at 7 p.m. The public hearing notice is up online. You can look at the tentative budget online, or we also have paper copies available here at Village Hall. Any other announcements? Okay. Opportunity to add or modify agenda. Any requests? Okay, moving on to board business. We have some very exciting big conversations tonight. We are joined by James Arabito. James, we're just asking you to unmute. James is our one of our attorneys at May and McKen, and what's the third M?
Man Ryder McKay.
May and Ryder McKay. Same firm, new name, all the same services. May and Ryder McKay. He has been working with us primarily on real estate transactions and has helped us with the negotiation of purchase of the remaining parcels that we need for dam access at the upper reservoir. So James, if you would talk us through process on to make sure we do this right the first time out of the blocks.
Sure. So we need to get to a place where the board can approve the purchase and sale contract that's been negotiated with the seller, and to approve the mayor's prior acts with respect to the negotiations that led to this point. To do so, we're going to have to seeker the action for purposes of seeker in this instance, because there is wholly independent utility of the property outside of the dam project. Just like with the Eustis parcel previously, we could seeker the purchase in and of itself, to which end the village has prepared a short form EAF. And we've included the seeker analysis as part of the proposed resolution to approve the contract.
Okay, and just you're using seeker as a verb, but for the benefit of the press and the public joining us, it's the State Environmental Quality Review Act, and we are going to go through part 1 and part 2 with James. Is there anything that you need us to? It is part of the public record online, if anyone prefers to read in detail. Is there anything, James, from the part 1 that we need to cover verbally in session?
I don't think so. Give me a second to just breeze through it.
Okay.
Again, I don't think, this is a relatively simple relatively simple review here because there's no actual work being done on the property as a result of this. This is just a purchase. As a general matter, just for the benefit of the public, what this part one is doing is speaking in general terms about what impacts, if any, the proposed action would have on things such as traffic, natural landscapes, public and private water supply, et cetera, and so forth. I don't know that there's really anything we have to speak about in particular here. Um, the the search does find a timber rattlesnake. Well, the potential for timber rattlesnake presence on the property. Again, we're not doing anything on the site though, so the impacts are expected to be none.
At this time,
Correct.
this particularly relates to the purchase.
Correct.
And I am not, just to be clear, I'm not seeing a part two in my stack. I'm just seeing a part one. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Oh, wait. No, we did a part two impact assessment here.
James, I came in the door just before the meeting started, so it's possible that it's here and I'm not seeing it.
You want me to share my screen? Would that help?
Sure, why don't you just for the benefit of the viewing audience, and maybe since Laura, since you have it on your screen.
I don't think. What is the part two?
It's the series of 11 questions. James,
Yeah,
if you
there's no like.
James, could you request to share your screen, please?
Sure.
and then we'll go through the questions from your version.
Okay. Okay,
Um,
so this is the part two that you're seeing on screen.
And we need to review that first before we go to the resolution. I cannot, for the life of me, read that.
Yeah.
So if you can read out the questions.
Absolutely. Number one, will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulation? Yes or no?
No, in fact, it's in compliance.
Will the
With
proposed
federal laws.
action, sorry.
That's okay.
Number two, will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of use of the land? Yes or
Not
no?
the purchase, no.
Number three, and bearing in mind that the proposed action in this instance is the purchase. Number three, will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community? Yes or no?
No,
Number four, will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that caused the establishment of a critical environmental area? Yes or no?
no,
Number five, will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway? Yes or no?
no,
Number six, will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities? Yes or no?
no,
Will the proposed action impact public or private water supplies? Yes or no?
not the purchase, no.
Will the proposed action impact public or private wastewater treatment utilities? Yes or no?
No.
Number eight, will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources? Yes or no?
No,
Number nine, will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources, e.g. wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, and fauna? Yes or no?
no,
Number 10, will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems? Yes or no?
no,
And number 11, will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health? Yes or no? And then obviously part three, determination of significance.
given
I
that we have answered no all the way through,
you have a no adverse impact. Or
Can
no
you read
significant adverse
the
impact.
checkout? Just for the record?
Check this box if you have determined, based on the information and analysis above, that any supporting documentation that the proposed action will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts.
And so now we put this to a board vote. Yes?
Correct.
May I have we'll do it by roll call, please.
Trustee Bartis,
Aye.
trustee Bozzi,
Aye.
trustee Hall is absent. Deputy Mayor Woods,
Oh, she probably needs.
Thank you.
Deputy
Yeah,
Mayor Woods.
I was muted. Sorry. Aye.
Deputy Mayor Woods votes aye. Mayor Foley,
Aye.
and the vote is 4001.
Thank you. All right, James, now we move on to the resolution, which you have helped to prepare. It is a very long document. Is this a resolution which should be read into the record in its entirety?
I don't think it could hurt you to do it. I don't think you need to do the exhibits, obviously.
Right,
I don't
but
think
we
it could hurt to
can
read.
reference the exhibits which are available electronically on our website.
Correct.
And from the village clerk as needed. Okay, so resolution of the Village Board of Trustees, of the Village of Cold Spring authorizing, it's authorizing the mayor, so perhaps you should read it.
I'll do it. Resolution of the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Cold Spring authorizing the mayor to sign necessary documents associated with the acquisition of real property. Whereas the Village of Cold Spring owns the Cold Spring Reservoir, and whereas the reservoir is held back by two dams, the upper dam and a lower dam, and where the village plans to perform substantial repairs and upgrades to the upper dam, maintain the safety of the reservoir and village residents, and to protect the integrity of the local drinking water. Whereas Rita Sue Siegel, or its seller, is the record owner of vacant real property located at 260 and 261 Lake Surprise Road, Phillipstown, together approximately 4.6 acres. Have offered to convey the property to the village pursuant to the terms of that certain real estate purchase and sale agreement, annexed hereto in Exhibit A. And whereas the agreement sets forth the terms and conditions of the village's acquisition of the property from seller, the amount of $1,000,000, subject to and in accordance with the terms therein. And whereas the Village Board of Trustees finds it is in the best interest of the village to enter into the agreement and authorize the mayor to execute the agreement and any and all related documents necessary to effectuate the acquisition of the property and completion of the project. And whereas the acquisition of said property is integral to the planning and implementation of the project, and that the property provides the village with much needed access to the upper dam and provides a staging and laydown area and serves other significant project related uses, including watershed protection of an important drinking water resource. And whereas wholly independent of the project, the property is vital to the ongoing preservation, protection, and resilience of the village's water supply and provides reliable village access thereto, irrespective of whether the project is completed. And whereas it is in the public interest that the village acquire the property in order to complete the project, and whereas the village proposes to acquire less than 100 acres of real property, and accordingly such acquisition is an unlisted action pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act. Whereas the village has completed a short form environmental assessment form, whereas the seller desires to sell the property to the village to support the project. Whereas the village desires to accept the property from the seller upon the terms and conditions set forth in that certain agreement. Whereas the village will need to acquire a boundary survey of each parcel prior to closing. Whereas the village will need to perform or cause to be performed a phase 1 environmental site assessment in accordance with ASTM E1527 standards, phase 1 for each parcel. Whereas the village's design consultant with respect to the project, tectonic engineering consultants, geologists, and land surveyors, has estimated for the village at the price of $2,900 per parcel to perform the phase 1, 7,000 to perform the survey at both parcels and $1,500 to provide legal description to be included in the deed for each parcel. And whereas the village board of trustees has determined that it is in the best interest of the village to include a 20% contingency on the quoted cost for the survey in phase one in order to avoid any shortfalls relating thereto. Whereas the survey in phase one constitute professional services that require special skill and expertise. Public bidding requirements of GML 103 and the village's procurement policy do not apply thereto. Now, therefore, it is hereby resolved that the herein proposed acquisition is unlikely to have adverse environmental impacts, and therefore the preparation of an environmental impact statement is not required. Therefore, resolved that the village board of trustees hereby determines that the acceptance of the property donation is in the public interest of the residents of the village. It is further resolved that the village board of trustees hereby authorizes the mayor on behalf of the village to accept the donation. What?
That's those are typos in
That
there.
is not donation,
Those are
just
typos.
sale,
Acquisition.
acquisition.
So it's gonna.
Yep, donation. Okay, so
In
as
both of those resolutions, it should be
Yeah.
should be acquisition.
resolved that the village board of trustees hereby determines the acceptance of the property,
With the purchase
of
of
the
the property.
purchase of the property acquisition.
The
Determines that the acquisition of the
property.
the acquisition of the property is in the best interest of the residents of the village, and then is further resolved. Village board of trustees hereby authorizes the mayor on behalf of the village to acquire the property from the seller. And resolved that the village board of trustees hereby authorizes the mayor to execute any and all required agreements and documentation to effectuate
The
the
acquisition.
acquisition of the property, including but not limited to the agreement deed, any necessary transfer documents, and to comply with all of the provisions of the agreement, subject to the review and approval as to form and content by the attorney for the village. And is further resolved that all prior actions taken by the mayor in connection with negotiation of the property acquisition are hereby ratified, confirmed, and approved in all respects. And is further resolved that the mayor is authorized to proceed with the survey in phase one and to perform all acts and to execute all documents related thereto. And is further resolved that the mayor is authorized to spend up to $3,480 to perform the phase one environmental site assessments, $8,400 to perform the survey, $1,800 to obtain legal descriptions of the parcels. And it's further resolved that the village clerk is hereby directed to maintain a copy of this resolution in the official records of the village.
That's a roll call vote, and noting that we will ensure that all of your noted modifications to the word acquire or acquisition are correct in the record. Is there a second?
Second.
You moved
No.
it.
Second.
Okay. Discussion? All in favor? It's a roll
Aye.
call. Yep.
Okay, trustee Bartis.
Aye.
Trustee Bozey.
Aye.
Trustee Hall is absent. Deputy Mayor Wood.
Aye.
Mayor Foley.
Great satisfaction. Aye. Before we move on to the bond resolutions, I just want to take a quick second and say thank you to Laura Bosey. Laura has been just the best negotiating partner, and it's been a long road, and I'm so glad we're finally here.
I'm so glad.
So thank you.
Thank you, and thanks.
And James, you're pretty great too.
No, I was just there for the ride.
Oh, this whole thing. Okay. So now, we are in fact purchasing property. And so we need to, it is our intention to pursue, and we believe that we have indications that we are good candidates for a grant to cover the cost of the project. We need to do the acquisition now, and then we will apply for a grant to reimburse the village. So in the meantime, we need to establish a bond to front the money before it comes back to us as a grant. And so, make sure I'm looking at the right resolution. That,
under the Hawkins head.
Yep, okay.
Bond resolution of the village of Old.
All right, now, James, I will tell you that our bond counsel lets us just read the first section. So.
Fair enough.
No, I think it was important for the public, for us to read that entire resolution to the record. So for the bond, the summary, resolution. It is resolution number.
Oh, was it this one?
They're not numbered until they're read 14.
Okay, 14/20/26. I make a motion to accept a bond resolution of the Village of Cold Spring, New York, adopted March 25th, 2026, authorizing the issuance of bonds in a principal amount not to exceed $1,045,000 to finance the acquisition of a parcel of real property located at 260 and 261 Lakes Prize Road, stating the estimated maximum cost thereof is $1,045,000 and appropriating a said amount for such purchase. That is the motion.
Second.
Thank you. It's a roll call vote. I will ask it to be a roll call vote, Kathleen, I'm sure.
And for this, it has to be a supermajority of 4. Correct. Trustee Bartis.
Aye.
Trustee Bozzi.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Woods.
Aye.
Trustee Hall is absent. Mayor Foley.
I vote aye.
And the bond resolution is adopted by a vote of 4001.
Okay, I will orient myself to the next resolution. Also relates to a bond. This is related to the engineering for the dam. Second, to make sure that I have the right language in front of me. Okay. This will be bond resolution 15/2026. Authorizing the issuance of bonds in a principal amount not to exceed $375,000 to finance the preparation of preliminary plans, specification, and design in connection with the proposed construction of improvements to the Upper Cold Spring Dam, stating the estimated maximum cost thereof is $375,000 and appropriating said amount for said purpose. That was the motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Bartis.
Aye.
Trustee Bozzi.
Aye.
Trustee Hall is absent. Deputy Mayor Woods.
Aye.
Mayor Foley.
I vote aye.
And the motion is adopted 4001.
This is a big day. Okay, James, have we done everything that we needed to do on the dam front?
We have covered our bases today, Mayor. Congratulations to the village.
Thank you very much.
James.
May I ask you to stick with us just in case there are any questions? I know you're not necessarily briefed on the topic, but just in case, we have a resolution next. Jonathan and John have been assisting with this week. There is a proposal also before the town board this evening. It's been in discussion with the town clerk and the DOT for some weeks, coming to our boards for approval tonight. Last Friday, the officer in charge and I were asked to join a briefing on a film shoot happening in Garrison that will require road closure of Route 9D from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Friday into Saturday. Emergency vehicles will be able to pass. They asked for assistance with our officers as traffic is being rerouted through the village to be in 3 locations. There will also be a production assistant with each officer so that there can be communication back and forth among sites outside of the village. The sheriff's department is managing the intersections outside of the village. State troopers will be assisting as well, and we are managing within our own territory, as it were. There is no other service being provided by the village. Andrew, Trustee Hall and I did negotiate impact fees, including coverage of pay for our officers for that 12-hour period and the supervisory work that has been required of the commanding officer. And the amount that was negotiated was $18,500. So, and about 10 of that is cost to officers for commercial duty. So discussion first, questions or discussion? Seeing none.
It looked like a new format. Is this?
Yes, so Andrew, this is a new format. Andrew has been working toward a new format for agreements. This is the result of, we took the location agreement from Apple, the company is Apple Television, and out pieces of our
Most recent one.
filming permit and what we know to be needed in our new permit, and fuse them together with the help of Jonathan and John in a quick like order, to result in this. And now that we have this in order, we have a good template for going forward.
That's great.
So Jonathan, or I'm sorry, James, it is my assumption that this can simply be a vote, a voice vote, not a roll call.
I think that's right. Yes.
Okay. So I would make a motion to, yes, I need someone else to make the motion. It's authorizing me.
One question first.
Yep.
How does insurance work on that? They give us a
Yes,
certificate?
we have their certificates of insurance.
That's.
And we had Kieran, I believe
I
Kieran,
have received their certificates, and there's also a line that was just added today that we also certify that we hold insurance
Mhm.
for, I think they said $2 million per, which we do because we have excess liability insurance. So, and they provided their certificate of insurance today.
in the amount that is recommended by our carrier.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for asking. Would you like to make the motion?
Okay. Yeah, good. Yeah. Do you have the language?
No. Which one? Discussion and vote authorizing mayor to sign location services agreement between the Village of Cold Spring with Apple TV, Apple Studios LLC for police traffic supervision as per agreement, for which Apple TV Studios LLC agrees to pay a one-time non-refundable location services fee in the amount of $18,500 for services. Well,
Yeah, no, that's it.
Thank
Second.
you.
Okay, and just one other quick item before we take the vote. There is a rain date, which is April 8th, but it's looking like things will be able to go ahead just fine on Friday. What do I say? We've done a roll call late. I can't think of.
I second it.
You seconded, all in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Was that an aye from Tweeps?
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for hanging out for that, James. I think we are, you may hop back into your own life and have an evening with your family. Thank you very much for joining us. You're welcome to stay if you'd like, but you don't need to. Okay. We'll have the clerk talk us through the next resolution, which relates to records retention policy.
This is a simple resolution to adapt the records management program that is advised by the New York State Archives, which is a part of the Department of New York, the New York Department of Education. It was introduced in 2020, and we're adopting it for our own. It's also, in addition to, the New York State Archives provides a wealth of information to records management officers, which the clerk is by default the records management officer, and they have a wonderful staff that have offered to help us to visualize a plan so that next year we can apply for a grant to upgrade our facilities and digital and physical. But you can't do that until you adopt this resolution. And so that's why this resolution is on the agenda tonight.
Thank you for uncovering that process, Marjorie.
There a question?
Yep.
Yes.
What records are we talking about? Like home sales, resolutions?
All the business of the village is part of the public record, and we keep everything for, the record management program there is a specific, when you adopt this resolution, how many years you keep each thing. I have a binder in my office that tells you how long the minutes are kept, how long the receipts are kept, how long oaths are kept, et cetera, et cetera. So
All of our vital records,
all
our
of the
birth certificates, death certificates are retained, the police department records, our ability records.
legal.
So there's a cost associated with this, I would imagine. So we can recoup that cost later?
Well,
Or, I mean, this is down the road.
yes, I mean, as I understand, and Marjorie can clarify further, they tend to be particular project grants. So for example, purchase of fireproof storage boxes, mold removal, but also guidance on how we maintain our records.
I mean, there's a grant every year. It's not to maintain your records is not an expense. It is a requirement of law.
Right.
So whether we adopt this or not, we have to retain our records. This actually allows you to dispose of some records, actually, because there's a record retention program that you're adopting.
So
And so
will there be a cost to the
there's
village?
no cost to adopting the resolution. In fact, it's the opposite.
No, I know, that's not point. I'm talking about going forward. Will there be a cost to the village for submitting those or whatever? And do we,
Submitting a grant.
no, submitting the records?
We maintain the record.
We
Oh, we
maintain the
maintain.
records. We're, right now, we
Okay, I was trying to
I'll
understand
take you
that.
on a basement
we
tour.
need to go.
I thought we had to report them into somebody every
No,
year.
but one of the things that we have talked about, well, yes, there is reporting, but also one of the things we've talked about is the importance of getting the roof sealed up. It's because of leaks
Mhm.
in the basement. And there are probably some items down there. The town takes advantage of very inexpensive rental space in a fire safe structure at the county level for infrequently accessed documents. So we may be able to now that we have adopted these standards, be able to optimize some of those things to get records out of where they are and into places with better circulation, and they're meant to be archival conditions. But yeah, I'll take you down. It's pretty cool. There's an old vault down there, and
Oh, cool.
it's also terrifying.
So we have
It
to,
also refers to digital records, so they can help with those as well. All of this does is really, I mean, someone here might read it. It's very simple. Only those records will be disposed of that are described in that document after they have met the minimum retention periods.
Well, I will make a resolution. This is now 16, correct?
Yes.
Adopting the records and retention disposition schedule for New York local government's records. Following resolution was offered by Mayor Foley for adoption and seconded by
Second.
Resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Village of Cold Spring, New York, that retention and disposition schedule for New York State local government records issued pursuant to Article 57A of the Arts and Cultural Affairs Law and containing legal minimum retention periods for local government records is hereby adopted for use by all officers in legally disposing of valueless records listed therein. And further resolved that in accordance with Article 57-A, only those records will be disposed of that are described in retention and disposition schedule for New York local government records after they have met the minimum retention periods described therein, and B, only those records will be disposed of that do not have sufficient administrative, fiscal, or historical value to merit retention beyond established minimum periods. And this is a roll call.
Trustee Bartis,
Aye.
trustee Hall is absent, trustee Bozzi,
Aye.
deputy mayor Woods,
Aye.
Mayor Foley.
I vote aye.
And the motion is adopted 4001.
Excellent. Okay, we have a request from Riverkeeper to do a river sweep at Dockside Park on May 2nd, 2026 from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. They have already cleared this with Parks. Declan, sorry, I'm going blank on Declan's last name. The new Evan. Declan has given permission to Riverkeeper to do this event, and they have asked for assistance from roadways and facilities in terms of a truck to haul and our bin to dispose of trash, and the crew chief, Robert Downey, has volunteered his time on that Saturday to do that work. He's done that for the last few years. So they're asking for our permission, as we are the currently the permit issuers for Dockside Park. They're asking for permission to help us keep the shoreline clean again this year. Discussion?
Well, that's just for trash. Is it for all that wood that washes up down there, the Potsdam?
No, actually, there's a particular term for that. It is called rack.
That stays though.
Our management agreement with New York State, this is actually a good moment for Michael, something for you to note in your coverage. Rack is the natural debris that comes up on shore from the Hudson. The 2022 project that New York State and the DEC did together made the shoreline stabilization project. Dockside is designed to flood naturally, as it would had there not been a man-made dock or other item there. So the rack is intended to come up on shore. Our management agreement with New York State Parks does not allow us to remove the natural rack. Periodically, Parks will come through and remove some large objects, but that is not within our purview. So what the Riverkeeper folks do, and this is in addition to Bugsy on every Friday, once it gets warm, Bugsy and his team sweep the park for garbage and
So they pull stuff
washed
off
up.
the trail and all that stuff?
Say that again?
They pull stuff off the trail if it ends
Yeah.
up.
They make sure that it's clear and safe.
Okay.
But the Riverkeeper event is the sweep event is a way to engage people all up and down the river in different communities in taking care of the river. The river flows both ways. It is always disgorging styrofoam and bottles and all of those things, unfortunately. So it's a one-day event to engage people in helping to take care of the river, and they're asking for our permission. Any other discussion? Someone like to make a motion?
Make a motion to be accepted. We don't have to read all this, right?
So Marjorie's got given text there.
I think we should mention the day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The-
different permission.
On May 2nd, right?
Right.
Request by Riverkeeper for the Village of Cold Spring support the 2026 Riverkeeper Sweep by granting permission for volunteers to organize a cleanup project at Dockside Park on May 2nd, 2026 at 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And by sending one or two of the roadways facilities department crew members with the truck to load, haul, and dispose of trash and debris at the end of the event.
There was also a question whether a certificate of insurance would be required of Riverkeeper, and if so, how much?
It came with the email for this. I have not been here to print it, but we do have their certificate. Declan did, the parks manager did take care of that piece of business for us. And I have also asked, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned this. I also asked that in addition to the indemnification that Parks has folks sign, that they modify the language to include indemnification to the village. So we'll get that back in draft form and make sure that's there, just as we've done in years past. So Tony has made the motion. I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Tweet, do we still have you?
Yes, sorry.
Aye.
You got-
To, batch 830840. Yes.
Approval of bills voucher batch 8403 in the amount of $31,810.50.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Tweets, thank you for covering for Andrew on a very busy day.
Got it.
Acceptance of minutes,
Which didn't
we
attach.
do not have this week. Tentative budget discussion, I assume that is just there as a placeholder in case anyone had questions. We don't have
It was
Michelle
a
with us.
placeholder, and if you just want to remind people again about the public hearing.
Usually. Okay,
And that the documents are available in Village Hall and on our website.
what the clerk said.
That's
That,
all.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
At 8:40,
Second.
7:44. Okay, yes. All right.
Second, all in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.